So August 28th is Jack Kirby's 100th birthday. Jack Kirby, if you don't know, is a hugely influential person in the world of comics. He was one of the co-creators of Captain America back in the 40s. And then in the 50s, he did a lot of various types of comics, a lot of monster comics, things like that. Then in the early 60s, he and Stan Lee got together and they created Marvel Comics. They created Fantastic Four, Uncanny X-Men. He had his fingers on, he did the covers for Incredible Hulk #1, Amazing Fantasy #15, which is the first appearance of Spider-Man. He and Stan did Fantastic Four for over 100 issues. He was there for the creation of so many characters that you're going to be hearing about, characters like the Inhumans and the Black Panther, and just hugely influential person in the world of comics. In the early 70s, he had a little falling out over creative differences with Stan, and he went over to the competition, DC Comics. And when he went there, he basically was given free reign and created this thing called the New Gods. He also created a book called Kamandi, OMAC, all sorts of bizarre, way ahead of their time stories and characters. And sadly, they didn't sell great, and eventually most of them got canceled after a couple years, and then he went back to Marvel and did all sorts of things. But so this month, in August, both Marvel and DC are celebrating what would have been his 100th birthday. Marvel is reprinting a bunch of first appearances and things in little dollar books, so you can get a sampling of different things he did. Books like Avengers #4, which was the return of Captain America, Journey into Mystery '83, which was the first appearance of Thor, and Eternals #1, which was kind of taking his New Gods idea and bringing it back to Marvel with some Celestials and all sorts of fun, crazy stuff. DC is also celebrating him because of the great stuff that he gave to them. So they are doing a new Mr. Miracle book, which is one of the New Gods characters. That's coming out this month by Tom King and Mitch Gerads. Tom King is right now writing Batman. He had a great run on The Vision, and he also did a book called Sheriff of Babylon with Mitch Gerads. They're just really, really well received. So that's exciting that they're doing that. They're also doing a bunch of one-shots that are new stuff, not reprints, of a lot of the characters that he created for DC, such as the New Gods, the Newsboy Legion, Sandman, and Manhunter. So it's just neat little one-shots just to celebrate the things that he did for them. So they're also coming out, there's a big Mr. Miracle graphic novel collecting his full run, and then there's going to be a huge, I think it's $150 New Gods Omnibus, which is collecting everything that he did with New Gods. So lots of really neat stuff with Jack Kirby going on this month. We're going to do something the last weekend to celebrate his birthday. I haven't quite figured it out yet, only because a lot of his stuff isn't in print, so I got to figure out exactly what we're doing for him, but we'll do something special. So that's what's going on, Jack Kirby related. Very excited. Now, Marvel and DC are the two big publishers of comics, and they always have big things going on, so I'm separating them out from the other comics we're talking about just because so I can focus a little bit on them and not let anything get lost. The big things this month, DC has a huge thing coming. It's called Metal. It's Dark Knight's Metal. It's a Batman story. They've discovered a dark multiverse with evil versions of many characters, and all of a sudden they're going to be present in the DC universe, and the Justice League is going to have to deal with it, and it's going to be bigger than they can even handle. So what they're doing is they're doing a special midnight release for issue #1, which is on Tuesday, August 15th. And so I'll be open at midnight. We'll have a special sale. Also, there's a special midnight release variant that's only available at the midnight release and only for stores that are actually participating in the midnight release. So if they want the special fancy cover, it's regular price, come on down and get that. So that's exciting, that's going on. We also have the Mr. Miracle book that's going to be huge, the Tom King book. There's also a neat book that they're doing. It's a little one of their oddball things that they really like to do. It's a future story called Nightwing New Order. And basically in the future, superheroes have all been arrested and eliminated, and it's a society free of superheroes. And the character who's responsible for it is Nightwing. He's in charge of rounding up all the supers, and then something happens where all of a sudden his family is being targeted. And he has to get the people he's been hunting to help him. So, interesting twist. It's done by Kyle Higgins, who had a long run on Nightwing. So that should be a really interesting book. Not in continuity type of thing, but it should be fun and different. Marvel, lots of stuff going on with them. They're leading into, in September, they're doing their big Legacy event. But to get us there, they're doing a bunch of books called Generations. And these are tie-in books where it's young versions of classic heroes meeting the current version of that character. To give you an idea, young Bruce Banner, just when he became Hulk, is suddenly in a situation where he's meeting Amadeus Cho, who right now is the totally awesome Hulk. So they're getting a story. Same with Thor. You're getting a young Thor who isn't even worthy enough to hold Mjolnir, meeting up with Jane Foster, who's Lady Thor right now. So they're doing a bunch of these. And in August, we're getting the Hulk and the Thor. We're also getting Phoenix meeting Jean Grey. We're getting Wolverine, a young Wolverine, meeting X-23. And we're also getting the two Hawkeyes meeting each other at different points in their lives. So that's interesting. We also have Secret Empire is continuing towards its end. I think we have issues 8 and 9 coming out in August. And then there's also a book called Inhumans, Once and Future Kings. There's a new TV show coming from Marvel this fall called Inhumans, and this is a little 5-issue miniseries giving their untold origin. So that should be interesting with the way everything's going on. Good creative team. I know Phil Noto is part of it, so that should be good because he's one of my favorites. So that's the big things going on with Marvel and DC in August.